Let's start this video with a story. When I was a stupid ass kid, probably in first grade or something, I had Sonic Advance 2 on my red Game Boy Advance SP. Now, I brought this thing with me everywhere I went. I treated it like my child. One day, my mom dragged me along to watch my older brother's basketball game, and naturally, I brought my Game Boy with me, with Sonic Advance 2. Lo and behold, one of my classmates is also there, sitting in the bleachers, playing his Game Boy. So we get to talking, I show him my game, he shows me his, and then he's like, "Oh, I have an idea, let's trade games, just for a little bit." And then I go, "Okay." So we exchange games and go our separate ways. Fast forward a few days later, I brought the game with me to school, and in the middle of class, I whispered in his ear, "Hey, I brought your game. Can we trade back?" And then he looks at me dead in the eyes and says, "Oh, I lost it." I was stunned. I didn't know what to do. And in an impulse, I went, "Well, I'm keeping your game then." In the end, I never did see my copy of Sonic Advance 2 ever again. And the game I got in the trade, it was Dragon Ball Taiketsu. So, in the spirit of that story, this video will be about that game instead. If you're a fan of the Dragon Ball series and its games, then you may know Taiketsu as one of, and maybe even the, worst Dragon Ball game out there. It doesn't tell you what the controls or combos are, the control itself sucks, and the graphics are clearly just images that were scaled down and then scaled back up again to give the illusion of pixel art. I got dicked over by this trade, man! If anybody out there can find this guy, can you, kill him? Okay, let's talk about Sonic Advance 2. Right off the bat, I had a feeling I was gonna like this game more than Advance 1. They improved the presentation in every way. The graphics pop, the music is punchier, the sprite work and animations have been cleaned up, and it's a small detail, but there are now some voice lines which add some much needed life into the game.
Sonic!
With Germa as the announcer.
Sonic Advance 2!
Thanks, man. It's the bare minimum, but there is a story here too. It's only really here to add context to the character select. Sonic will come across characters during his journey, and then you can play as them. This is the official debut of Cream the Rabbit, and in my Sonic Heroes video, I stated how Cream is the most powerful being in the Sonic universe, and her performance here is more evidence for that theory. She just deletes enemies by telling Cheese to sick 'em. She makes the boss fights look like a cakewalk. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not Cream that's powerful, it's Cheese. But let me just say this. Behind every fearsome beast is a fearsome beast tamer. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's not even true. That's all I'm gonna say. This game is much more hold forward to win than its predecessor. There's a lot of emphasis on going as fast as possible, and that's fun. But I never felt obligated to stop and maybe look for an alternate route. I just wanted to go, go, go! Sonic Advance 2. To add to this, there's a great mechanic where your character moves faster depending on the amount of rings they have. This is a fantastic addition because while you feel sluggish like in Advance 1 when you have 0 rings, once you collect more of them, the movement just feels so much better. Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Fuck! No! Yeah, the bullshit hazard placement is back, but honestly, it's much less often here than it was in Advance 1, but the ones that are here feel way more deliberate. I just want to know who put that there. I just want to know why. What were they thinking? I'm not mad. I'm just curious. I just want to talk. I just want to talk. One part I want to bring up is in Sky Canyon. You get launched off a ramp right into a wall and die. Now, the rings point upwards, so you know you have to go upwards, and I was spamming the jump button and holding up thinking, is there a double jump I don't know about, or... And I was kind of right. In this game, there are these things called tricks, and you trigger them by pressing R plus a direction to do a mid-air trick. The upwards one gives you some extra height. Now, the game doesn't tell you this, and you can only perform tricks after a spring, ramp, or railing, so it's not like you can jump and just start pressing buttons to experiment. The manual teaches you how to do it, but I didn't have that, so I just kept pressing buttons and it worked. So with parts like those as the exceptions, the levels are overall pretty easy, I think, But where the game really puts my balls in a blender are the boss battles. I struggle to even explain why I find them so aggravating, but I'll try my best. Each boss feels almost like a rhythm game where their attacks are set to this timing that you can get a feel for, but then sprinkle in some randomness, like which attack it's going to use, or what angle is something going to get shot at. So you kind of have to wait for all the stars to align just right so you can find an opening to land a hit. This one being the worst example. Knuckles, what are you doing in there? You don't belong in there. Who gave this to you, and how do you know how to control it? Get out of that thing. The thing constantly rotates, and once I got the opportunity to go for a hit, I couldn't reach him, and then the hand can just slap your life away. Whose bright idea was to put a one-hit KO in a Sonic game? I just want to talk. This is especially nerve-wracking in the final boss rush. Yeah, the final boss is a boss rush. In case you didn't love the boss fights enough, now you get to fight them all in one go. And then they have the balls to throw one more new boss at you. Like, couldn't this just be the boss? Just let me beat the game already. How did I manage to beat this as a kid? Did I even beat this as a kid? That fucker. But yeah, the whole ordeal just leaves a sour taste in your mouth.
Congratulations!
Shut up, Germa. And also, there's obviously 7 emeralds, special stages, and a final boss, but you have to collect 7 special coins in every stage to do it, and I don't really want to do that, so I don't really know how to end this video, so here's a cool picture of Goku I found online. Nice.